around the place where she grew up, and has been ever so kindly kicked out and told, please don't come back anytime soon, but we love you, and has been given a cover story. So that was where we started.
There were some deals, I believe, that were made.
Oh, there were some deals, yeah. I kind of forgot what deal I made, though. I guess I said, here's the journal, tell me what you learned.
Anything in particular?
Yeah, you asked for limbs.
Yes, limbs, please.
Okay.
I meant to DM you, but I will DM you while other people are recapping. Okay. I have an Evo idea for DM review.
Great. Now, just to be clear, was that an Evo or an evil idea?
It could be both.
I mean, yeah.
Embrace the power of and?
Yeah, I mean, based on your description of the evolutions, that's kind of what they're designed to do, is to be, like, awkward that way, so...
Okay.
A little bit...
I mean, we've already made... Yeah. I mean, we've already made my character low charisma, so I can't quite figure out how to play her, so I don't also want to have, like, an arm sticking out the back of my neck, so that's not really attractive to me. That's already weird enough.
That's funny.
I mean, the guy we had tied up...
Oh, yeah, we let him go.
Is it Mishka?
Miksha. Right, yeah, Miksha.
Is there a K in there somewhere? Mishka.
Yeah.
Miksha.
Okay. Miksha showed up, and we've got, like, all fan kitty about that, because, oh my god, Soulforge is right here. I've never seen a Soulforge like that. That's so exciting. I sort of decided no, that's fun. There's going to be 5 million indications when somebody does anything to me on Discord right now, because it's going to come out of that computer and possibly my phone. It'll be great. That's going to be annoying. Anyway, so I sort of tried to figure out, how do I play the low charisma, right? Originally I was like taciturn, socially awkward but taciturn, and I kind of like the idea that they are taciturn unless they meet a Soulforged, and then they become ridiculously verbose, like I generally do. So I can at least tap into my strengths. So, like, the fan kitty comes out, and then I decided that's what happened. I was like, oh my god, you're like, but you're not mechanical, but you are mechanical. Oh my, whatever. Like, it was very exciting. I'm working on it. I'm working that angle now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think my deal was that I made with Jalas was that, she would sort of report back on things that she learned, I guess. Yeah, I didn't do a very good job of setting up something where there was like a trade. I wasn't quite sure how to do that, so that's what I came up with.
Oh, we did get a...
Oh yeah, we got some stuff. We got a biodoctor for the ship.
Biodoctor, and we can talk about a weapon on the docks.
Yeah. I think we didn't get to the point of actually getting the weapon, though, did we?
No, we haven't actually left.
No, we didn't actually do anything.
No. So I know Nietzsche met Jalas, got told there was definitely no corruption there. That's impossible. Explored the building a little bit and figured out that if it does exist, it's underneath the tower, and learned a little bit about the tower's mirror from the guy that had been kidnapped.
Right. I think we told you.
Catnapped.
Yeah. Astral arm cat.
Yeah, catnapped. Mm-hmm. I don't remember if there was a way of getting me onto their boat. I don't remember if that had been...
I don't think we got that far.
Okay, yeah.
I think we got as far as you spoke with her, she was super insulting to you. You went and wandered around. You detected there's something wrong downstairs. We told you what we knew. You talked to the other person, we let that person go. You healed them because I had beat them up.
Oh, yes, earlier. That's right. And then I think I came to the conclusion that whatever's down there, I probably couldn't deal with currently.
Okay.
It sounded like it would be perhaps stronger than a single druid
could
handle.
And then
does that sound
that's all fairly sensible. I don't believe I recall you vocalizing that thought, but I can very much believe that you had it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we had decided what to do.
Yeah, I mean, we were sort of shopping for our boat and trying to make deals, and
Right.
Zognar was doing reconnaissance and setting up to leave. So like, we haven't actually got to leaving yet, but that seemed to be where we're headed.
What did you guys get food-wise?
It's a Mexican place kind of across Mount Diablo from here called Rancho. So it's like a particular, I don't know, like Spanish, California Spanish sort of style. So like they go to do a wet burrito or like a burrito. This is a burrito bowl somehow. I don't know. This is a salad. They have roasted Brussels sprouts, which are really good. So that's random, but good. Recommended.
Very Californian.
Yeah, very Californian.
That's right. I think I saw you guys were talking about this, and someone was like, "Oh, I could go for a burrito," and they're like, "They don't do burritos," and I was like,
And you're like, they do burritos.
They do, but I managed to fail to order one.
You did.
Not
yeah.
on purpose,
No, yeah,
mind you.
Yeah, you got a burrito bowl which turned
No,
into
it was not supposed to be unwrapped.
Well, their only options
The-
were wet or unwrapped. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted it wrapped.
yeah.
Normal burrito, please.
And they apparently there wasn't an option on their website.
Oh, wait, that's what William got.
I got a burrito.
Yeah, so actually, whatever William ordered.
But
No, it was the same thing, except you told them bowl because it was selected in the thing on the website, on the picture that I
yeah,
sent.
yeah. But
Because
Yeah, but I had
their
to-
website is badly coded and you can't choose no.
yeah, I didn't appreciate that. Yeah, we don't need to go into the details right now, but what Will did result in it being what you would have wanted actually. So now we
Yeah.
know that for the future. Otherwise, it's quite tasty. I think
It is tasty, yes. Just not
not quite what you're aiming
the
for.
right format.
No, format fail.
"I want my tortilla, dang it!"
Yeah, right.
Need more carbs.
Right.
Sadly, I need fewer carbs.
Yeah.
Jeremy will appreciate that.
Oh, Jeremy will appreciate this.
You have no choice.
Continuous glucose monitor.
Oh, yeah.
So
I had thought about giving one of those a shot just because I thought it was an interesting idea. But how?
they're expensive but illuminating. So I was fortunate enough to get a few free from a friend who got them paid for by insurance and got more than she needed. So I am thrilled to have the opportunity to try this out without paying like $150 a pop. They're each good for 10 days. They are not the most accurate things in the world, but they can be calibrated with the blood glucose monitors.
With the finger sticks.
Yeah. And it really gives me much more insight about what things affect it and what the time delay is, and that has made me read more things, which inform me that while like it would be great to get the average level down, that's really secondary to avoiding spikes. And so the only way you will ever know if you spike is if you have one of these.
Right.
Or if you stick your finger like 15 times in a row.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I tried.
I vote no.
We were hanging out with John's mom on the East Coast, and she had one of those. So I tried it for the first time ever. I was terrified of it. It wasn't horrible, but I stuck 3 of my fingers and was like, "This sucks." Like, yeah, if you want to have any kind of continuity, you need that thing. 'Cause it puts a little wire like in the muscle, so it's just monitoring it constantly.
Yeah, so I can. The app is badly written but adequate. And.
Anyone want any more?
Oh,
What?
right, Bluetooth is off.
Sorry. I think you're okay to turn it back on again because I think that the.
Bluetooth on.
Also, this doesn't really close, which is interesting. Packaging fail.
But
I have one more of these. Anyone else want another Brussels
yeah,
sprout?
aside from the signal loss, let's see.
You'll have to get up and
We'll have to get up.
Sprout.
I don't know if we. Can you show me us?
That's a little bit more
I
annoying
can see
than
your
I.
line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So so it's useful, it's
got a whole
informative.
I just
You can just, yeah, just put it.
I wouldn't want to pay for a year's supply of them, but my hope is that by using the handful that I have, I will learn enough to change my habits for the better.
Yeah, it's real good data. That's what I like about them, at least the idea. I've never used one, but like it just seems like it removes a lot of the confusion and the guesswork.
Yeah, and I mean, having ongoing data for like the next several years would be better than having data for 20, 30 days. But having data for 10, 20, 30 days is so much better than having no clue whatsoever because I get a lab test once a year.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my 60-second summary of it.
Cool. Well, we should probably kind of dive in here. I believe
I'm gonna grab chocolate and I'll be right back.
she's getting.
okay.
Chocolate.
Oh,
Oh, the talk about continual glucose monitoring made later want chocolate.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, chocolate has not been obtained. Did someone just roll something for just the hell of it? Or?
Yep, that would be me. And I got a 1 and a 20.
Really?
Yep.
Roll with advantage/advantage. Okay.
Okay.
all right. So let's get back into things here. I believe the current state. Actually, why don't each of you sort of remind me where you are at the moment? Because I think that was, like, is Zognor probably currently in the process of getting her evolution?
So, I think what we had said last time was we're going to meet up at some time after Zognor got her evolution and everybody else had done their thing. Zognor has gathered supplies, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, and we will discuss offline what the evolution is going to be. And that was somewhat ambiguous, but if there is no major disaster in the course of that, then we can resume immediately after the evolution.
That sounds fine. Yeah.
Hello, Liz. We like Liz.
That's Liz. Liz, this is Joe. Joe is also nice. Liz is nice.
Hello, Joe. Good to meet you.
Hi.
Actually, you haven't
And you
been.
met
And that's
Will,
Will, right? So yeah, Will. You haven't seen
Maybe.
Liz. Liz. Oh.
Hello.
He's not nice though, so
No, no.
He's just awesome.
I'm okay.
Pretty so just excellent.
So,
How you guys?
unless the DM says more interesting things have occurred, Zognor has an additional evolution and is ready to be kicked out of the castle with cover story.
Okay.
yeah.
Good enough. And then for us, we were talking to Jalas, and I saw my notes. She gave us a biodoc. She's given us a fueling cannon.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're supposed to go to Shardling and someone can modify it so it will shoot cannonballs instead of fuelings. So that's
We
what
do
that-
have a feeling to use if we. Never mind.
Oh,
Not this one.
Okay.
She very specifically told us to like take care of. I forgot about this.
Yeah, take care of.
Take care of.
Like a monster.
Like,
oh, I was
like
just thinking,
too.
like, no, like, just get me where I'm going as fast as possible.
Yeah.
It's about speedy transport. Right. Yeah. A spell notary. We'll go to spell notaries periodically and try to check in with Jalas about whether she's figured out anything about the notebook. So I don't know where we were, but we were talking to her. Maybe we would have gone back looking for Zognor. Maybe we would have gone back to the ship. I'm not quite sure where we would be.
Yeah, well, I think we'd want to gather everybody before heading back to
Yeah,
the ship. So
right.
I've accomplished everything I was hoping to. So I think I'm just. I guess I had assumed I had headed back to the room with Leaf.
Yeah. Okay.
And if nothing else is going on, I'm gonna. I don't know. Slam the floor and sleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say take a nap. Yeah, we didn't sleep as much as the rest of them. I think so. Yeah. Okay, I'll do the same thing. The cat's like following the turtle around.
We're just waiting for Zognor, or
As far as we know, yes. I don't know what Mixer's gonna do, but right now, that's sort of what we're. As far as last thing I knew.
Miksha, you were doing some like looking around and investigating and stuff, trying to figure out where the source of corruption was. I'm going to say that I recall that you were trying to find like this under area. You got some word of it from the other people. This is all in the books, what we talked about last time. But well, there was no like one specific thing that like stood out to you as like, oh, that's clearly whatever it is that I need to get rid of. It sounded like more of a potentially a large institutional problem that maybe wasn't like
Yes.
it wasn't like there's a little corrupted river that you need to go and shake some fairy dust over or something. It's like it's something much grander than that.
It did sound like there was something potentially really bad at the lower levels of the inverted tower, whatever that's called. There was a name.
No, yeah, there's a name. I've got it. Hang on.
The fist.
No. I've written
The Ebony Fist.
Ebony Fist, which is to say the hand castle in the basement. We're calling it the hand castle.
I'm sorry, it's a hand castle in the basement.
Yeah, sorry. Apparently, I know my typing.
No,
is,
it's fine.
I love that you can read that from there. I'm like, oh wow, Joe will know all of my secrets.
No, only the ones that I read. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like that I would need some kind of in with the residents of the Fist if I was to try to change this, and I have not. It did not sound like they wanted to change based on the one person that I interacted with.
Mm-hmm.
I think you went around looking for people who were not working for Jalas.
Oh, that does sound
Right,
familiar.
which was
Yeah.
this party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, right. They're just the three of us. The two of
Yep.
us.
And your captive.
Yeah,
Former captive.
captive.
And they were like, "Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back down there as fast as possible."
Yeah.
So let's say that you guys have all kind of reconnoitered back at your little like waiting spot. Zognor is away at the moment, but has just like arrived, and Zog is wearing over her normal clothes. She's got like just a one-sided like hospital gown type thing, and steps into the room. And the first thing that you notice about her is that peeking out underneath the base of the gown are her little green goblin feet. And as she kind of enters the room, it's like the feet take 2 steps for every 1 step that she would normally take. Like they're just like kind of like that.
They're extra feet.
It's not that they're extra feet. They're just like they're like excited all the time. It's sort of like, have you ever seen someone do like certain types of dancing that involves like stepping up and down very, very quickly to move a very short amount of distance? It's kind of like that, but more casual.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. More casual. Yeah, like there's some kind of step dances that like Irish step is not the right example, but Morris dancing maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Chocolate.
Thank you.
Chocolate.
So Zognor, everything as far as you can tell has gone well with your upgrade.
Yay!
Thank you.
And you're kind of like a little under the weather. You had to be like partially sedated for this. Your feet below the ankles are a slightly different shade than they were before. like a slightly different shade of green, and you're fairly certain they're your biological feet, but you're not actually sure because you don't. Most people don't stare at their feet for very long.
But most importantly, I can apply nail polish to the toenails, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Excellent.
But with that, I will say that probably Delamite is leading you in here, and his old little wizened body. Get some rest, and but not here. And then he kind of like closes the door behind you, and gives you guys a moment to your collective selves.
Okay. We have not spoken directly to you yet, right? You came in and
I
said,
did have a sort of
coded.
forced coded check-in,
Right.
but that's about it.
Okay.
So
Are you okay, Zagnar?
I'm fine, but my mistress has given me a new mission, and it would behoove me to set out for it as soon as possible. How are you folks?
Oh my God! Have you met?
I think we sort of crossed paths. Is that right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Leaf comes over to you. You're shorter than I am, probably.
Yeah.
Leaf comes over to you and just starts like excitedly yanking on your shoulder and says, "Is this Soul Forge? Like, oh, just, oh." And then like you can't actually say anything. They're just very excited. Also, I believe you might be Groot.
You might what?
Be Groot.
Groot.
Oh no,
Not quite.
not
But
quite.
I just realized there's a Groot-esque element.
So as Leaf is like sort of tugging on me, my feet take a couple of steps over toward Miksha before I entirely realize that they're doing that. And so I have apparently semi-voluntarily walked over in front of you and say, "Hi, I'm Zognor. Very nice to meet you."
Greetings. I'm Miksha. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Was it a formality when you asked if Zognor was well, or are you under the weather?
Well, my mistress has granted me the boon of an evolution, and I now have new feet.
Leaf like suddenly drops to the floor and starts looking very carefully at your feet.
So,
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I was picturing like a human, but I forgot I'm a cat. Yeah, I'm like,
Are these evolutions like widespread across Spart, or is it like a new to this place kind of thing?
They are very common in Spart.
Okay.
They are pretty
Got it.
much the standard, like, I'm trying to think of a good example of like, it would be unfashionable and looked down upon to be a drow of any note that does not have one, and
At least.
yeah.
Okay.
What are you gonna say, William?
Oh, yeah. I'm just curious. I know it's a little early, but do you find that having 3 feet is more or less convenient than having 2 feet?
I still only have 2 feet, right?
that's correct. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
sorry.
not. They're
Yes,
not
yes, yes.
actually. You have
Okay.
extra limbs.
No extra
Did you
limbs,
follow
just
them?
like
Octopus or something? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure him out.
That's an interesting question. But I hadn't considered like tentacles.
We'll talk later.
I'm curious about that. What exactly changed there? But it also seems like I should get going. If your legs seem capable of moving.
yeah, I feel certainly well enough to travel. If called upon to run, then we'll see how well I do. But walk around the room, do a couple little test jumps, nothing too strenuous. I assume I feel fine.
Everything seems okay.
Yay!
Okay, so
I will
also
say
like
that there's Zog now has a little bit of a meander. So like whether or not she realizes
kinda
it,
like-
sometimes she'll just kind of like go a little bit back and side to side as she's walking. But other than that, yeah, everything's been fine.
I'm sort of picturing the Ministry of Silly Walks, right? So she's like supposed to be standing there, but she's just kind of like doing a couple,
The Ministry of ever so slightly silly walks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I were applying to the Ministry of Silly Walks, then I could do a great one.
Yeah. No.
Right now, I'm not even aware.
You're like low key.
Oh, I'm a little unsteady on my feet. It must be the anesthesia wearing off.
Right. No, it's never going to wear off. So I will say that, like out of character, I'm reminded from looking at my notes that the two of us know that Jalas is worried that Zognor is in some kind of danger. I don't remember if she actually said that she was sending Zognor away, but I kind of think that when Leaf asks if you're okay, she's not just asking about the obvious. She's sort of asking like, "What's going on?" But I think. Sorry, not in any like clear way. So you can definitely answer the question that way. But I think later Leaf will be like, asking you more about it. But
Lost did not specifically say that Zognor was being sent away.
Right, she just said she might be in danger. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, sure, we can go. We have like things to share with Gloom. Gloom has new toys. We should take the toys to Gloom. Yeah, okay, now I'm telling Simon when he's like extra.
Who is Gloom?
Gloom is our ship. Forged. Oh. You guys are going to love each other. It's going to be great.
I can't say that I've encountered terribly many of myself.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'll introduce you. You have to put the helmet thing on. Will the helmet thing fit on Miksha's head so that you can talk to... Will some weird thing happen where they somehow become like one thing? Like, Leaf just starts, like, speculating verbally out loud about, like, trying to figure that out. You'll see.
Why don't we show them?
I guess I don't have anything I need to accomplish immediately.
Come meet Gloom.
Sure. That sounds enjoyable.
Okay. So now I'm definitely channeling my cats when they want attention. That's Meow? Meow? Well, speaking of whom, it's like he knew.
Yes.
Simon somehow knew. I've got his cat carrier out, so if he behaves badly, we can have him go in there and stay for a little while and chill out. So we'll just
We
keep
can
the
give
check
him
there.
corporal cuddles.
He doesn't do that for very long. Corporal cuddles only work on Simon for about 10 seconds. Actually, putting him in his crate as if he were a dog and closing the door does chill him out.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes he does something bad and then he goes into the crate by himself.
He's
and I
like,
close the door behind him like, okay.
I'm absolved now. Excellent.
Yeah, right. I know I need to
That's
chill.
how he knows he's doing something bad.
So he's
That's how we-
Catholic. Okay.
Yeah, he's a cat.
I'm envisioning it more as like some 4-year-olds like recognize that getting put in timeout means like they're overstimulated and they need a little bit of downtime.
That's what I would like to. Like
Yeah.
Lauren tells us like that. Yeah, I would like to imagine that's what he's doing, but I also think that Joe might be right. All right, I did the bad thing and now I'm good. Yeah, I've been pardoned.
Yep.
I have purchased an
Indulgence. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It comes with being catholic.
A pleasure, sir. Oh yeah, we're making jokes. We're making elaborate Catholic jokes about you, Kitty.
Yeah.
It's great.
Would you like? There's room on the.
Simon.
There's room over here. Yeah.
So, are we ready to head out?
Yeah, let's do it. We need to go. William's like, how long is it going to take us to do this?
So yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, what are you doing? You're
So,
very excited. All right, I'm going to Dawn.
If we were to head out,
Come here.
what does Zognor know about the range of Jalas's perception network
might
of
just show
spies? Like, at what point would it be safe to talk freely?
Probably when you were at sea.
Scared.
Honey. Honey.
Your expectation is that anything you said in Shardling that was overheard by pretty much any fueling could potentially go back to her.
Okay.
Okay. But, like, on the road, well, how far away is Gloom located?
Bloom is at, actually, I'm trying to remember. You guys brought her to dock, right?
Oh yeah, did we do a whole? No, we had like a choice between like. Yeah, I think we did go to the dock.
Yeah.
I think you guys convinced me it was safe. I was like, I don't know. I want our precious soul forge, but I think right. But we had the whole discussion that like it's kind of a haunted ship that won't work if you don't know how to work it. So nobody's going to steal our soul forge ship. So, okay. So I think you convinced me they were just docked in the normal location.
Yeah. In Charlotte.
So that is presumably like a fairly short journey from
The hand castle.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of like fairly non-metropolized area between the Ivory Hand and Shardling itself, where you could probably have an en route conversation.
Okay. As we are traveling that stretch,
Simon.
I
Simon.
will,
Hey.
Simon.
No. Oh, look at that. He's like, I'm stretching towards
I'm
doing
not
the bad
causing
thing. I'm not
trouble.
actually doing the bad thing. I'm just stretching.
Mr. Simon.
Simon. Yeah, look at him. He's like, sorry. I should probably put him in his crate so he'll stop doing. Oh, well, that's a good idea. Cat toy, Brad. Okay.
Okay.
Soul Forged are the leaf cat toy.
So as we are entering that stretch,
Yeah.
I will say, my mistress's information network is rather impressive. It goes all throughout the castle and great distances all around. And
Oh, look, you just.
Yep, I lured the other
You
one.
lured the other kitty.
and
Yeah, I know. I was like, what was that?
nearly anyone who overhears us could possibly get word back to her. I think we are likely to be out of range here.
So are you okay?
I am fine. I saw things I was not supposed to see.
What things?
I would not want you to get into trouble, so I'm not going to tell you, but I'm fine. Jalas is not out to get me, but it is best that I leave.
Out of character, you did just see the same things we saw, right? It's not like you saw something more than we saw.
The same things that you saw?
The things that Zognor saw was like the whole stuff about the experiment and everything. So
You mean downstairs?
yeah, because isn't that kind of what
I was there the whole time you were.
what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, you're saying you've seen things. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I don't want you to get in trouble. But it's the same things we saw, but we don't necessarily know that. You don't necessarily know that. I'm just trying to confirm that you're not talking about something we haven't seen. I'm just confused. It may not matter. We can move on if I'm getting to. Yeah, okay. All right. Tabling that comment for the moment.
I mean, she's kicking you folks out too.
Actually, not. Wait.
No, I don't think so.
Oh no,
Yeah.
she kicked me out.
Well, yeah. She
Well,
well, she just didn't want you to do anything. She didn't technically make you leave, but she also made it pretty clear
That's
she didn't want
true.
you there.
Yes.
Right.
She didn't kick us out. We made deals with her.
Oh yeah, I believe it will come back at some point.
Yeah. Do you want to share with Zognor what your deal was?
So yeah, what did I miss with you folks?
Oh yeah, we had a nice talk with you too. We handed over the rest of the information about the Slimaton in exchange for weapons for the ship, mechanical body parts, and I think did we get provisions too?
I don't know if we got provisions. Maybe.
I have provisions.
Oh,
I've got lots of provisions.
Oh, I love it.
seems like we're set then.
Yeah, and I tried to ask her to share what she learns from deciphering the notes.
Did you happen to say anything about the giant world serpent?
No, we didn't. I mean, I assumed we did not. Right? We only
Oh,
talked
I-
about this.
It never came up.
It never came up, right?
It never came up. That's,
Taku? We only talked about the Slimaton.
yeah, I guess that was kind of important.
Yeah, but why would we? Whatever. Like,
Next time.
why do you want to tell her all the things? What research do you? Oh, there's some research on that too.
Huh?
There is some research, like the world serpent told us to make a thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
was.
see, he's purple covering another thing.
It does all seem related. Just another reason we should try to help out. Next time we can ask about that.
What's happening here?
Do I know what a world serpent is before asking them?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's like a what?
I guess before I say that,
Oh, the world serpent! Oh my god! So we went to do this. We got Gloom, right? So and then we talked to Gloom. You're gonna talk to Gloom. It's so great. You're gonna love it. And so you talked to Gloom, and Gloom's previous captain. We don't know what happened to him, but probably got fed to the Slimaton. Probably bet. And then Gloom told us like this is where they were going. So we went where they were going because it was kind of on our way because Zagnar wanted to go see Jalas, and that was it seemed like a good idea at the time. I guess it was sort of useful in the end. But then we went to this place,
It's
and
a
the world
giant
serpent.
snake that said the world is going to end.
Yeah, that.
But so there's some stuff that we can maybe try to do to stop that.
Yeah, that.
Sounds trustworthy.
Well, it was the big serpent that was like in theory. Well, I mean, was it sort of clear? I think it was clear based on your description that Garrett and Svart are serpents that are like biting each other's tails, like and holding on to each other so that the planets won't go away or collide, keeping them from colliding.
Yeah, keeping them from colliding.
Yeah, right. So I think that was the description. That it's actually okay if he goes up there. We just don't want him to keep climbing up to the other shelves. I like it was like trying to simultaneously startle the cat as the cat did the thing. Your timing was very good, but he's unfazable. Okay,
I said that before.
the cat.
It has something to do with this, some kind of thing we need to create.
You need
The
to
instructions for it
Like blueprints.
were found.
Wait, where did
Do you
we?
remember?
Oh, were they on the? Yeah, where were those? No, it described them to us. I
I think it
think
described. Wait.
it described. I think it described the plans to us, which means I don't know if they're just in our heads or what.
Some kind of combination of mechanical and biological parts.
Right, which is not unlike the Slimaton. We told you about the Slimaton, right?
I think you did talk about it.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. So yeah, they probably are related, and there is something about the connection between the biological and the mechanical that is important somehow. Also, there's this codex. There's something about I don't know the three different researchers maybe, or the two of the researchers were like competing to find the codex, but Jalas somehow got it. I'm just going to say that, and if nobody says anything, I'll move on. But I'm just going to say that because that was done out of Leaf's earshot.
oh yeah, I saw that she had it.
A lot to take in. How big were these dragon things?
Well, some of the geography people know, right? So it was like the spines or something. What was the name of it?
Yeah.
The coils. The coils.
The coils.
So you know that mountain range, the Coils?
Those are
Heard of it?
those are coils of the serpents.
Oh.
So that's
It's
it.
big.
That big. Yeah. I like the visual. That was great. Could you make it a little less bright? Thank you. Oh yeah, you have it like cranked. Thank you, sweetie. It's just like really bright whenever you turn it on.
And you're going to go do that now?
I don't know. I mean,
After being banished?
well, we weren't banished. You were sort of rudely treated, and she was banished. Apparently, you did say banished, right? Or ish. You said you couldn't come back, right? You did say that.
There's a couple places that we could go. I think the Compass Compact was.
Yeah, that was the next place we're gonna go.
If you wanted to do the serpent, whatever you wanted us to do.
Well, they might be able to help you learn about that mechanical biological thing.
It is related, so I'm not against it. But I'm not the ship captain.
Oh, I'm
is the
I'm the
ship
ship captain. Let's go do that next.
So
I see.
Thank you.
So-
That was great. I do actually have a fairly high intelligence and wisdom, but I'm sort of playing to the like impulsiveness part right now. Where did that cat just
Go
go?
over there.
So, So, Miksha, so you have heard about our story. What are you doing? What do you seek?
Melissa plays Melissa. John plays John.
I am here. Initially, I was told by another circle of druids that there was corruption that needed to be, or that their auguries told them there was corruption that needed to be dealt with in this area. I think, as best I can tell, it might be underneath that tower. There's something wrong with the organization that's causing that corruption of nature, but
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, that was something was definitely wrong down there. Wrong.
okay.
I mean, we told you what we had seen,
Well-
but so I think that makes sense.
I do feel like that might be because Jalos does not want me to fix whatever this is. Clearly, there's likely other entrances to that building, but I don't know that they're going to be any more amenable to my influence than she is. So I need to figure out some other way to fix this problem. I hope that some of you might be willing, or at least you're willing to tell me about more things. But if you're all leaving, that will not help.
Well, I do need to leave. I can tell you what I know because, Zogmore is still not 100% clear on what's going on down below, but if I understand correctly, Jalas is not aware of it. And this is the work of 1 to 2 of her main rivals, and it does not look very savory. And
Well,
umami.
Jalas is more sweet. I don't know about the other two. They might be more umami or savory.
And the implication is it's best for me not to inform Jalas, but I can still have opinions of I don't like that and I want to perhaps ever so slightly work against it. So I'm more than happy to tell this near stranger what I know about what's going on down there.
I feel like didn't. I'm trying to remember what information we did have about the fact that I think we did kind of know she was aware of it, and that was why it was.
I
bad.
think you got that from interviewing the Tidet guy.
Oh yeah.
Right, so she knows that she knows about the experiment, but she doesn't know where her rivals are set up.
Did you not tell her we found him in the basement, or you told Dolomite?
Yeah.
Okay, and he may or may not have told her because he was trying to protect the experiment. Okay, yeah, correct. Sorry.
So Vandry almost certainly is not clear.
Right, but it was the other one, Durden. Yeah, right. Vandry's not there.
If this corruption is related to that, then it could be. If we did went to where Durden or Vandry are, we can see if there's similar things going on there. If that makes any sense.
Well, except Durden was already there. But if you go to find see what Vandry is doing, weren't you supposed? Did you tell us that your cover story? Wasn't it Vandry you had to go check on?
I thought it was Durden who had the mysterious source of funding that I'm allegedly supposed to investigate. And if so yeah, that is the cover story. So I can
looking for grant fraud.
that is
Down.
Yeah, right, exactly.
that is public information or public disinformation. So I can
Goodbye.
tell them
That's
that.
good. You came over and did all over on our own
And
power.
basically, I was encouraged to take my time investigating that. So,
Taking notes. Well, I want you to meet Gloom. You don't
Oh
have
yes,
to.
that's why I'm going this way with you.
Okay, good.
so
I'm trying to
I'd say
decide if
after- You guys have been describing for a while. You've approached the outskirts of Shardling, so this is sort of the Manhattan-esque island lit, the chunk of shard from the main shard that is over here. And as usual, it is full of dock workers, almost all of them fuelings.
And we can no
stuff
longer speak
around.
freely.
Is that?
And we can no longer speak freely.
And you can no longer speak freely. And there's it's like what, midday-ish at this point, because you were doing a lot of stuff in the morning, and then you had a bit of travel time now where you're discussing things. There is the sounds of Shardling are loud yelling of fuelings telling people to beware of this and that, of commands being yelled out of managers and of dock workers working. There is the sound of crates being lifted and placed en masse onto various different boats and vessels. You can once again smell the sea, now that you're close enough to get there. The great saltiness of the Celestial Sea.
Well, I am looking forward to getting back onto our vessel and getting myself a long rest.
Like an actual long rest, which you have not had this
Oh,
entire
right.
time. We do need to try to get our cannon set up to be a cannon instead of being a fueling torture device or a rocket launcher. Fast transit, rapid transit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know if torture device is the right word.
Depends
Lots
on.
of
Did they
methods of
survive?
transport are ultimately unpleasant.
That's true.
The torture
I mean, you know
device-
how many people are killed by car accidents every year?
Yeah, I mean, the torture is more of a bonus, not really the intent of
Right. The torture is, where you like put them in the cannon and you sort of like, I'm gonna hit the button any minute.
I feel like the Drow see it more as a fueling extreme sport.
Anyway, yes, but actually, apropos of what we're trying to do, you'd said that we could find someone to try to do the modification, so we should do that.
Yeah. So asking around. Actually, why don't you give me an investigation roll?
I could do that. There's my investigation. It's pretty bad. That's a 5. You don't want me to do that. I'm such a bad captain. Can someone else also do this?
You can try.
Leaf is just such a newbie. They're like, I walk up to someone and I say, "Do you make cannons different?" And they go, "No."
So, Teku and Leaf spend some time. They were both in on this whole bargain to get valuables for themselves and for the ship, and so now you're trying to figure out what to do with this this goblin cannon, this fueling cannon, and between the two of you, you manage to come to the decision that the best place to go is behind a specific tavern at about 2 a.m, and there's a guy there who will give you the absolute best hookups. So there's the Cannonade and Lemonade Tavern, which is it's hard lemonade, to be very clear, but you have been sort of pushed in that direction. There is a weapon and modification specialist who pretty much stalks that joint outside in the back alleyway, but only very late at night. And really, there's no reason to go anywhere else than that.
Okay.
I mean, there may still be some merit in keeping it as it is.
Why? Why? I'm sorry. You're going to need to give me more information, my friend.
Just that it has its uses.
To fling fuelings? Like when we're out at sea and we're like, oh no, mer people are attacking us. We'd like to use something other than hardtack.
Well, that's
We're
not
not
the
going to throw our one fueling in there because we like her and we also only have one.
Would it also
I guess
shoot
I'm assuming
hardtack?
It's not lethal for the feeling.
Yeah, but then how do we get it back? I mean,
That's an assumption.
Well,
I don't know. Yeah, can we pack it?
If you're shooting
can
at
we
a
pack
pillow
it?
fort,
Can we pack it with hardtack and just like out of shotgun style?
I mean, that kind of thing would be definitely better suited for a normal cannon than one that is designed for fueling-based projectiles.
Yeah. Okay, actually, let me just go back up a little bit.
Although it's apparently like you're starting the most awesome food fight ever.
Grape nuts shot.
Yeah, the hardtack version. You know what? I just am backing up a little bit, like out of character. I sort of assumed when you said it was a fueling cannon that it was just kind of this horrible, cruel thing. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, it could actually be used to like just get them places faster, like
As long as they have a cushy place to land on the other side.
Yeah, I guess so.
Shoot them over the castle walls. Make sure that whoever you're invading
It's like
has a bunch of pillows laid out. Up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If we're not going to modify it, my friend, what is it? No. Well, you asked the fueling if she's okay with that.
I mean, you're vaguely the same size, right?
Not remotely.
I think I'm slightly bigger and I have a heavier shell. Spinner, would you
Hey,
like to
but
test
you're-
out the fueling cannon before we irreversibly modify it?
No thanks. Irreversibly modifying it is good with me. I'm gonna go get some rest now.
You
Alright, I guess
modifications
we'll
are
take it.
truly irreversible.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Well, yeah, but we only have this paid for. We'd have to, I don't know, give her more information? Is that how this works?
What? No, we're gonna go pay this person cold hard coal. So like,
Let's just do that.
Yeah,
This is
sure.
out of my expertise.
not like I have expertise. Do I have expertise? What are my skills? I don't think I have like cannon modification, but I mean like whatever what kind of skill would you use for like? I mean, I guess we're
That
not
would
in
be a
the
skill, that would be a tool, and probably tinker's tools or smith's tools. Depending.
which I have.
Unless there's
I
like,
have Tinker's tool. Can I
weapons
modify
smith.
it? Can I do it?
You
It seems
potentially
awfully-
could. I would
Okay.
say that it would be a much high. Like if you do it, there's a chance of failure, and failure could be varying degrees of bad. If you pay for
Yeah.
it, though, then if you get the right person to do it, then it will be just a transactional thing.
Okay, so I think here's what I'm going to do. After having a rather amusing conversation with my friends, I'm like, no, all right, you know what? No, I entertained your idea, but Gloom needs an actual cannon so that it can protect itself and us from bad things. And so we're going to go do this the right way. I have Tinker's tools, which means I do know how they work, which means I think I may have some idea how expensive it should be and should know whether the guy is above board. Even if I have a terrible investigation check, like when I actually go to do the thing at 2 a.m, I feel like because at first I was like, oh, I don't know anything. I forgot I actually was supposed to have some skills with, like this kind of stuff, right? Like I tinker with things. That's part of anyway. So that's okay. So Leaf's like, okay, I'll handle this.
You're getting mugged. That's what's happening. It's
Well, I'd
okay.
like to take I won't go by myself. I would like people with shells and other things that might help protect me to come with me. Also, I imagine the cannon's like, I don't know how big it is. I have astral arm.
You don't take it with you.
I mean, it's a sizable cannon. Like I've kind of elided past this, but I'm assuming that you guys are like maybe hoisting it all together. Maybe you got like a pack animal on borrow from Jalal
Yeah.
to haul it along on
Okay. Yeah.
You could drop it off on the ship first.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So actually, that's a good question. If this guy behind the scenes there, behind the alleyway, will he go to our ship, or is he going to have to like bring the thing to him?
I think you'd probably want him to go to your ship.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's what we're gonna do. I want backup, guys, but like I'm gonna.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to come with
Is this?
at 2 a.m? Lavendor's gonna sleep.
I mean,
'cause she's gonna sleep off her.
I need. I'm here to meet the.
Oh, right. Well, okay. Right. Okay. So yeah. Also, attention span of Simon, not just any cat. Attention span of like,
He lost interest in the climbing, which is good.
which was good. Yeah. No, he was thinking about going up there and then clawing at that.
And then you can do that, and I can just.
Okay. All right. Wait. Let's tell Gloom about what we got for them. And so we go back to the ship, and Zognar immediately goes and takes a nap. And I introduce you to Gloom, and I say Gloom, look who I met.
Back up one step here. So
Yeah.
Gloom, as you've been hearing referenced many times, is a Manta class vessel. It is very low in the water. It is a stealth ship, basically decided to have a very low profile. It does not have masts. It is completely steam powered. And so it has, and it looks a little bit like a manta ray, having a spinning object called an undulus that propels it through the ground, that is, or through the water, that is powered by steam. Um, it has 3 levels of decks. The first is the top level that is basically at the same level as the pier that you're on. If it were to sink very far into the water, it would immediately start to take on water because that's how low to the ground, to the water
Oh.
level it is.
That seems inconvenient if there's ever a storm.
In theory, yes. In the mid level is where there is most of like the quarters of various different stops. That's where the captain's quarters is, and the lower deck is where the empty area for the biodock is. Though that you guys now have something to fit in there.
And storage and stuff like that, right? Like
Exactly.
like the whole
Coal hall is down there as well. So you're led down into this middle area, which is technically subaquatic, and into this captain's room, which is it's like, imagine your typical like naval vessel captain's room. It's got books for some reason in it. It's got, a little window. This one though is pointed out into the water, and you can sort of see a bit of the water and then up into the sky from the underside. It's got a fairly nice looking bed with hammer what those things are, but for some reason sometimes people put like nets above their beds so to keep them more cozy. And
That's where the stuff go.
Yeah, stuffed animals.
yes, lots and lots of stuffed animals. Over in one corner is what sort of looks like just a desk with a very unusual helmet that has very like odd things that are like connected into it that recede back into the walls. And once you step aboard, though, Miksha, there's a feeling of similarity. Like you remember when you were purpose made, right? When you had just your one function, and how you wanted more, and you kept trying to find ways of attaining that. And you sort of see in this like breaks in the materials of the ship where new almost growth is, or where patches have been added that have sort of following that same path, but by a creature that has no limbs, that has no capacity to pick stuff up and apply it to itself in the same way. Anyways, after that though, go ahead, Leaf. The scene is yours.
Okay, so I don't know. You can let me know if you let me do this, but like I'll actually like grab your arm and like drag you over and be like, "This is Gloom." Now, what I'm trying to remember, we haven't done this in a while. Gloom, can Gloom speak to people? Gloom can speak directly to me when I have the helmet on, right? But can Gloom speak to everyone else and hear them? I mean, because there's a sort of a loudspeaker, right?
Yes, there is a loudspeaker, but they don't really use that very often.
Right.
So like ever since
Okay.
you've been connected, Gloom has pretty much only talked directly to you through the helmet.
Yeah, okay. So I put the helmet on and I say, Gloom, I met another soul forged. Would you like to talk to them?
Hello, Captain. It is good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
Was your mission a success here?
Sort of. Maybe. There's lots to tell you. But would you like to meet this new person?
I suppose I would. Do they want what? Why are they here?
Because I wanted them to meet you. Because they're like you.
It is a social engagement then.
Yes. They may have other ideas, but that's I wanted you to get to meet them.
Then I will socialize and meet with this other soul forged. Thank you, Leaf.
You're welcome.
Captain.
Should I how do you want to speak with them? Should I use the helmet, or how do you want to? I don't want to like without permission, do that. consensual, Soulforge talking to Soulforge. I don't know what Leaf would say, but that's what Melissa's thinking.
Captain, I would prefer direct communication when possible.
Okay,
if you
maybe that
would
means
hook up this new person, then I will talk to them.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you all the other things soon. Oh, and we got you presents. We got you things. We have a cannon and a biodock. I'll tell you about that later. But here, meet Miksha. And so then I take the helmet off and I go, here, Gloom wants to talk to you. You put it on your head. And then Gloom can talk to you. I mean, assuming that your head functions the same way as, I don't know. Okay, and then I just shut up and I sort of watch what you're doing. Totally fascinating.
How do I think this works?
You just saw Leaf put it on their head.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that you are, savvy enough to follow suit.
Oh, sure. No, I realize. I don't mean how it's supposed to work, but how does it work?
Yes. So, it looks like in the same way that the various new bits of a Soul Forged integrate with the whole, there is a temporary integration port, if you will, that makes up the helmet that allows them to share with each other briefly.
Interesting.
What he's doing.
Doesn't quite fit. Let's just perch it on top. Does it work?
Hello. Are you the other Soul Forge that the captain was telling me about?
Yes, I am Miksha. Your designation is Gloom?
I have called myself Gloom, yes.
Excellent. It is a pleasure to meet you. First, I must ask, are you in duress? Do you require assistance in being freed from bondage?
I would not classify my current existence as one of bondage or slavery.
Good. That's very unusual for this place.
Right?
I have worked with many captains in the past, and I would say that Captain Leaf is my favorite.
And I don't hear that actually, right? I can hear what Miksha's saying.
I mean, can you?
I don't think I can.
No,
because-
can you hear what I'm saying?
Oh, actually, that's true. Are you saying it aloud? Because you don't. Oh, yeah. Then in that case, I'm just watching you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. That actually makes sense, right? That's the you do the thing when a doctor sees a patient that they make sure that there's at least a period where there's no one else who comes with them, and they ask if they're okay. That's one of those.
Well, that's excellent to hear. They did seem like nice enough people on the surface. It's good to know that bears out. Then do you need any assistance with modifications? I may be incorrect, but the feeling I got when I came on board was that you're still in the process of your reconfiguration.
I have been struggling to understand myself, if that's what you're referring to.
That does sound... That sounds correct, yes.
I underwent a partial reconfiguration before I left Abolethshire, but my services as a ship were needed before I was completed with my modifications.
Oh. What? I had not ever met... Well, I really haven't met very many Soul Forged in general. What I've heard of them, of us, is that we are mostly humanoid. Is that what the form you were seeking? Or is the ship more to your liking?
I am not sure yet. I only know iteration. I started much like this, and I feel I am closer now. I don't know what my final form would be. It is something I hadn't even thought to think about until now. Do you have a recommendation?
For you? No, that's something you have to figure out on your own. I could tell you about the process that I went through, but I don't think that you should emulate it.
I understand. We are very different, you and I.
Yes. Not completely, but yes. Well, I feel like I'm ignoring all of the others that are here, but I mean, I did come to meet you. Tell me about what has your favorite adventure been that you've gone on with Captain Leaf?
Well, we have not been adventuring for very long, but there was a
And yet-
time not too long ago where some of the creatures of the deep, of the ocean, decided that they wished to tangle with us, and they employed a very unusual tactic involving the rations of the ship as well. I've not experienced this before, but it generated an emotion in me that felt like bubbles, lots of little bubbles.
Oh, I believe that that is referred to in Undercommon as laughter.
Laughter. I like that. I liked laughter.
Yes. Often it is expressed through sharp rhythmic vocalizations. You might have something that's capable of emulating that in your construction. I'm not sure.
Right when you pass that thought, you kind of hear the engine, the steam engine, sort of move into motion and just goes multiple times before stopping. Everyone else on the boat also hears that, possibly even Zognor. And for all you know, it just sounds a little bit like Gloom is about to leave port all of a sudden, but doesn't actually.
Do I get any sense of what's actually happening there? Or?
I am gonna say for narrative purposes, no.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But you're already fascinated by the fact that we didn't turn into Voltron, so
Yeah, right. What did you say, William?
I was like, oh, are we taking off already?
Yeah,
We haven't got the camping yet.
Yeah, right.
then related to those questions about changes, they mentioned they were back, and we helped lug they called it a fueling cannon. I think they mean the beings and not the thing that coal is. And also some kind of doctor machine that they were going to add to you. Are those things that you want to have added to yourself?
My specification does allow for those things to be easily installed and uninstalled. I would not consider those to be reconfigurations more than the word clothing.
I see. Very well. Do you have anything for me to relay to? Well, you're our host, but to the others, I feel like I should perhaps speak to them a little bit more, and it's. I'm not used to doing that at the same time as having this on. It's different.
Yes, your thoughts and way of thinking are different as well. There's many similarities where I am used to differences. Um, I have made a decision recently, and I feel like you may understand it.
What is your decision?
That I would like to continue to be, and that I don't think I can continue to be if what that great serpent said comes to pass.
Oh, they did mention something about a serpent and some
I'm
danger.
getting chills. Just so you know.
Well, it said that there's a danger to the seas as a whole.
Yes. From my understanding, what was said was that the two great orbs will once again come together.
Oh, a second cracking.
Yes. It is likely that would extinguish many of the lives and pre-lives that exist on the sea and most of the orbs.
Well, that does seem like a thing that would be horrible. But the dragon gave you some way of preventing this? Did they require assistance in their efforts to keep the orbs from slamming into each other?
I am uncertain of the details. The captain knows better. But from my understanding, we only got an account from one of the two serpents. The mouth of the other would be on the opposite side of the sea from where we are.
Oh. Well, I wonder if they plan to go speak to that one too. I hope they agree.
They do.
You have given me much to think on. It has been my pleasure to meet you. I hope we speak again.
Goodbye, Miksha.
Oh, here, you can have that back.
I think Leaf has just been like raptly watching, even though there's not really been any. Yeah, right. You know, with the pause, like the pause. I'd like cat lift, really. You know, and I
Assume the squeeing position.
yeah, and I actually am not sure what they would do at this point because. Maybe it's like a little bit reading the room, like reading because Miksha seems like generally a very serious creature, right? So like even though Leaf walked into this being like I don't know if it's going to be like, oh, I feel like there's almost like a religious experience of watching you interact with Gloom, even though I can't sort of see what's going on. I don't know if Leaf would be like, what did you talk about? Actually, maybe that's what Leaf would do. Leaf would say in kind of a respectful like. What did you talk about?
Oh, we talked about how being soul-forged is an interesting state of being. Mostly. There were some concerns about the same issue with the dragon.
Gloom. I told Gloom about that.
Yes.
I know, by the way, retconning that with the squeeing aspect, that anytime anything happens, at some point when Leaf has a free moment, Leaf goes into the captain's room and puts the helmet on and just like mentally chatters to Gloom about all the details of everything. So maybe Gloom doesn't know the designs that we were shown, but I think that actually Gloom probably knows quite a lot about what's been happening, whether it makes sense to them or not. But I think that's kind of what I'm retconning, that's why Gloom knew that.
Near the first time you did that, or maybe the second time, Gloom would mention something about not being configured for in diary mode. But then stopped trying to interject such ideas the third or fourth time you repeated it.
I mean, hopefully understanding that, like, it's enthusiastic. Anyway. Again, I really am now playing myself.
am interested in learning the truth of this issue that the dragon has brought to your attention. Is that what you were doing next?
Yeah, that was to go to the Compass Compact Club. Compass Compact
Club?
Sorry, the Compass. Yeah,
The Compass Compact.
Compact. Because the previous captain right before that Gloom had before us was, I think, from there. Is that right? Yeah, it was that. Yeah. So they sent the previous captain to go talk to the serpents, and so that's why we're going to go there. But did I tried to ask Gloom about it, and that was mostly what we understood. Did Gloom tell you more things than that? I mean, I'll ask them, but
No, just really that there was another
These want to be finished, I think.
dragon elsewhere in the seas,
Right.
that hadn't been spoken to yet.
Oh, right. Well, okay. Do we need to do like a geography check of like the Compass Compact is somewhere between Mouth 1 and Mouth 2 of Ends of Dragon?
So Mouth 1 and Mouth 2 are on polar opposite sides
Right.
of the sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everything is between.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we should stop by the place and see what they know about it. So this is definitely like Leaf is like, I will tell the Soulforged anything. Completely trust the Soulforged that I meet. That's definitely going to be.
This sounds more important than some corruption that will eventually be inconvenient and can probably be dealt with after the world won't end.
Yeah.
So that is Misha's personal decision.
It's
Is like, if they'll let me help, this seems more important than what I was doing.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So I think that what Leaf would then say to you is but the thing is, see, I come from, all right, maybe launches a little bit into just like too much backstory. Like I come from this plate, like from whatever, Garrett, I think, from like the surface. And then, I mean, it's really different. There's not that many of us, but we hang out together and not anybody else, just only the cat people, it's a thing. And then, maybe I'll tell you some other time, but I got very interested in Soulforged. That was a thing. I'll tell you about that later. So then I went here to study with the Neblin, right? Neblin or the gnomes, yeah, right. To understand, like, what do they know about these kinds of things, but I never thought I'd actually get to talk to. You're so great. It's wonderful. Anyway, I never know whether I should trust people. So I don't know if we can trust these people, except that they sent this person, this captain, to like go talk to the serpent somehow. So they must maybe know there's possibly a problem. So I don't know what to do about that. But we could see what happens when we get there. Except that some people are really obsessed with, extra limbs and slime and coal and things. So I don't know whether that's a good idea to tell everybody about the Slimaton and other things, but we need to know about these things. And the thing that the serpent told us about had like both pieces, like the mechanical and the biological.
It's a Slimaton?
It's not a Slimaton, but the Slimaton was like both mechanical and biological, and the thing that the first serpent told us about was also mechanical and biological, so there's something where it's both things. But you didn't do anything with slime, right? You just were, yeah.
I don't believe so.
That you know of, yeah.
You don't seem slimy.
No.
No, mostly dry. Although sometimes things condense because I'm warm.
True. Right. Well, you are. What's the word I want?
Filled with fire.
Exothermic.
That's exciting. I was going to say if you've got a sort of tree-ish aspect, I was thinking of like evapotranspiration, but it's
no evapotranspiration.
Just on fire inside.
Yeah. I mean, I also have a steam boiler inside.
Yeah, right. Just sort of wooden on the outside, I guess.
Supposed to be on fire inside.
Yeah, the inside is mostly asbestos.
Well, fortunately, the only way that would become dangerous to those around you would involve like destroying you. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. So like,
yeah, as long as I don't.
So if they take damage, do we need to like roll for like potential lung cancer?
Yeah, you just want
The dangers of long-term cancer like issues is not something we're going to cover in this particular campaign.
please make your mesothelioma roll again.
Again.
Theme.
Yeah.
Oma?
Oma, yeah,
Oma means
Oma's
cancer, yeah.
right. Yeah. Anyway, so we should let's talk to the people at the Compass Compact so we know what they know. But you're gonna have to I have to figure out whether we can trust them because except that
I think maybe if it's a thing you have trouble with, perhaps asking others who you can trust is
okay.
that you already trust.
Zognor's pretty smart about these things. I mean,
That's good. I have
If
spoken with
there's
them
some
the
kind of
least,
agenda I
but
don't understand about it.
If Zogner were not trying to get a long rest at this point, she would point out that this is what she does.
That is
no,
actually true. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Uh,
So that's who I think of immediately. Okay, that's a really good point. I could totally ask Zogner. Thank you.
you
yeah.
are welcome.
Somewhat
Is-
torn between like a guru-like relationship or just like a
It is a very what's the parasocial relationship currently.
But meaning, sorry, I don't know the term.
So it's a combination. It's a what's the? Why can't I remember the words that I want? For it?
Relationship.
Well, no, it's a one-sided, but specifically, it's a portmanteau of parasitic and social.
Okay.
For
Sorry.
it's often it's often used for people who do like content creation on the internet, where people think they know a lot about them, and they know what they're shown, and then that other person has no idea who they are.
Yeah,
like
right,
maybe
right.
they have interacted with him in like a comment.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. Because you sort of put so much of yourself out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people are like, for me, it was only Tuesday. Not that I think that's going to stay, but currently you're like, you're great.
Here's all the things about me, and you're great. And yeah, good job grabbing that guy before he does anything bad.
Okay.
Yeah, if you jiggle him, that helps too. Yeah, you might hold the back beat too. Yeah, there you go. No, seriously, that John discovered this. That like if you jiggle him, he'll hang out there a lot longer because it's
He
like
doesn't know how to get
stimulation.
down.
Yeah, well,
Can't
and,
wiggle.
and I think it's stimulation too. Like
Do you have ADHD?
he does. He has ADHD. Like,
There you go.
and the people say, "Well, he's a cat," but like, no, even
No,
for a cat,
yeah.
he has ADHD. He's like hyper focused and like also like hyper like I don't what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so awesome. Anyway, so that was a good conversation.
So yes, may I accompany you, Captain?
Oh, please! It would be so wonderful.
Excellent.
I hope you don't mind telling me things about stuff.
No, generally that's fine. Is there a room that I might
Yeah, whatever the
Plan.
appropriate. They'll give Miksha a room. I don't know how many rooms we have.
Yeah, let me
closet?
bring
Do
up,
I have to be like a vendor? Do I have to have a closet?
Zognor is very used to sleeping on the floor.
Right? Yeah, I know.
I can also sleep on the floor.
Right? Yeah, I feel like all of us.
This is a big
I
shift.
mean, I'm a cat, so I just lay on a random surface. Actually, no, you know where I sleep? If it's not in the captain's bed, it's wherever's the most warm part of Gloom. Right? I find like the
On top of
warmest
the-
part, like right, like not on top of the boiler, but like as close to the boiler as I can stand is probably where I would sleep.
you
at
know,
least for
the
now.
fact that there is a very specific, like, well-made, fancy, official sleeping spot, and you're not sleeping there, but instead sleeping in the equivalent of a pizza box, is
Yes.
very cat of you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll sleep in the fancy bed because those are also soft and yummy, right? But cats will find all the best places and cycle between them. So you have there's going to be like a die roll, we do like a D6 or something. Like where is Leaf snoozing right now? And it's going to be like on top of the boiler or like in the fancy bed or maybe
Does
up
a sunbeam
up on the deck.
exist?
Yeah, if there's a sunbeam up on the deck, that might be kind of wet. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. While Joe is out, I think that if whenever that conversation sort of ends, the next thing that I would do, and I don't need to take the spotlight in the art role play anymore, but like the next thing I would do is put the helmet on and talk with Gloom because I want to tell Gloom about the presents that we got, and ask them if they would like them. Because I do think I would ask that. I wouldn't just be like, we're going to put these things on you. I don't think I would have thought to ask it the way that Miksha did. That was really cool. But I think that Leaf would still ask before like modifying the ship. And I think that we just, I don't know, I might do the same kind of respectful question, like, what did you talk with Miksha about? I mean, like, not in like a super nosy way, but just like I'm like curious, anyway. Like, what was it like to talk to another Soulforged? Or, that kind of, so you can decide whether we can talk about that later, or you want to do that now, or other people should get a turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably decide where we're going from after that. Like, you have until the Cannonade and Lemonade meetup won't be for a while, assuming that you're going to it. Is there anything else you might want to do in this port town that you're at?
Before I crash, I'm going to ask anyone if they can spare a few healing spells because I'm down a bit.
When you get a long rest, you fully heal.
Oh, then, right, never mind.
Yay, 5th edition.
This is 5th edition.
Only you do have... what was that?
This is 5th edition.
Yeah, I said 5th edition. Yay, 5th
I
edition.
thought you said 4th. Never mind.
Oh no, I've never played 4th. No, I was actually thinking, except that you do have to make sure that you have like 40 food or whatever, right? Hard tech. That was meant to be.
By the way, just so you know, the microphone is picking up the crinkling of that bag like really well. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No matter where it is the loudest thing in the room.
Hilarious. Well, it means that the mic is sort of doing its job, and it means that you
Let
should
me
not,
pour it into a bowl.
No. I thought it was loud, and that was before I found out it was like really loud for you. Anyway, thank you for telling us that, though.
We're almost out of pretzels, but the rest will go into a bowl.
Okay. Well, that was, I mean, seriously, a thing of beauty to watch. To listen to you guys play that scene out. That was so cool. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but I was like, I bet this will be cool. Let's get these two.
Calm and serene.
No, but like just the quality of the conversation and where it went was just really, really cool to watch you guys playing off each other. I was just saying I love that scene. That was awesome. So, like just as a storytelling person listening to other people who I am fond of telling stories together was like a great moment. So anyway. So yeah, I would talk more with Gloom. I don't think there's a lot else I would be doing. Unless I'm trying to pin this one down on things, but I don't know what this one's going to be doing.
Keku, is there anything on the side that you want to be working on?
Fridge works, we hardly ever use it. So
We're in the. This is not like a very. There's not many steamatons here. It's mostly just feelings here. Right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's not a Gert shard. It's a Drow shard, so it's mostly fueling workers, the occasional taskmaster that's a Drow, and a mixed bag of random other countries. But that's the standard.
Is Quickslime something you can like buy or acquire somehow like that?
You absolutely can. Quickslime is generally grown in like underground vaults, and then harvested. So it's like a crop basically. The only thing is that it's important to keep it fresh if you're going to use it. Normally that requires, like, you guys have a biodock right now. If you install it, it has, we'll say it's got like a little area to keep a certain amount of Quickslime fresh. I hadn't really thought about the size of that, but if you wanted to, try to acquire some to fill up the biodock to make sure that it's got whatever it needs in order to do whatever evolutions and modifications that might be required, that's definitely sensible. If you just wanted to casually own some Quickslime, though, that's not something you'd just like throw in a canteen and carry around with you.
Okay.
Not like Yum Yum oil.
Yeah, not like Yum Yum oil.
You should mix them.
Yeah, I guess if I knew that I could brew it, which I might, then I would want to just acquire some just to have. You could ask around if that's something I could easily get to.
Yeah. Let's.
And then, I mean,
I'm going to say let's table the economics portion of that for right now. And
Yeah.
just say that it happens. I've been meaning to spend a little bit of time to try to figure out how to handle like currency and stuff.
Yeah.
With the main
Because
campaign.
I seem to remember that we have a lot of coal, but we also do have some gold,
An
right?
unspecified amount of various
Gold,
kinds of gold. Also.
Yeah.
Cole's delicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's delicious, but it's also good money. Good for money. But do you, ooh.
Is a biodoctor something I
You
can
will
get
not eat
set up?
hardtack. All right.
I can.
Yeah. You'll be very
Same
efficient.
as the cannon. It is something that needs some amount of installation. You could hire a professional to do it, or anybody could try to
Is
do
that
it.
okay?
When we're talking about this, imagine it's like a medical table and some like tubes and stuff connected to various other things, like a canister that holds a certain amount of quick slime, probably just some fresh water, probably some saline, just a variety of little things that need to be connected together. So it's not completely trivial. It is much easier for a layman to set up a biodock than it would be to set up a cannon, because that obviously needs to be like connected to the hull and lashed into some stuff. It's not just gonna hang free.
What would that be to try and set it up? You said Julie. That's the same.
I would do so if you have artificer's tools, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, I
Tinker
would actually
tools.
probably make it a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand check. You're
But
trying
a
to
sleight
sneak
of
it on
hand
there.
check would be a much more difficult check than the tool check would be.
I think I'll.
I don't think I have that. Well, oh no, actually I have +3. But
Yeah, I think I'll
actually-
not
I'm
attempt that, but maybe I could try to find someone to also to just install it. Kind of assuming it's going to be not a very big job. I don't know.
I have alchemist supplies, carpenter's tools, and an herbalism kit. So I don't know how helpful those are.
Is Tides of
Yeah,
Chaos is
I have
something I can only use on myself?
Sorry, what was that?
Is Tides of Chaos something I can only use on myself?
That's an interesting question. I believe so. Let me read it real quick. Yeah, it's only on yourself.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go buy some quick slime and then I'll be like, wait a second, where do I put this?
you just don't plan ahead. You're like, I've got a leg. I don't know what to do with it. Here's some quick slime. I don't know what to do with that. But you're gonna try to build the slime yourself.
Is the leg hollow because you could put the slime in there?
But it might not. I don't think it would stay slimy inside the leg.
Oh, that's a good point.
But I could. Maybe.
but I won't.
Just gotta keep it cold or something.
Alright, if we can't find anybody to set the biodock, I'll put it in the leg and maybe it'll help.
So, Andrew, you go out and you're looking for a place to buy this from. And exact economics aside, you do encounter a drow like we'll call it like a sanitarium type thing, but it's a sanitarium / cocktail lounge. It's you walk into this place and it's got some like fluorescent like neon lighting outside and like pink and blue, and inside there is in the back corner of what would otherwise appear sort of like a bar or like a ritzy coffee joint, is just a couple of just like medical chairs with people partially covered by a curtain that has been sort of pulled over them. Like you can see their limbs kind of twitching in pain as the sound of whatever being done to them is happening. And then like a waiter type person with a small cup of hot liquid goes in, and you hear a little like splishing sound, and then an and then they come back out. The person you actually end up buying this quick slime from, though, is pretty much a bartender. and he's got like a tap for water and a tap for some sort of, like tea and a tap for some other stuff, and then there's just a tap for quick slime, and so this is a kind of a surly looking drow guy, and he's kind of like, hey, yeah, so how much of this stuff do you need? You want me to fill up a thing for it, or do you got your own canister? It's 25% off if you bring your own container.
Here's the
can I just
slide.
like pour my water skin out on the floor?
Just as much as I can drink.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Right here.
Side question: can people consume it? Like, just drink it? Would you?
You can drink
there are
it.
things that people can consume.
Right.
So I'm trying to
Well, I
figure
mean,
out how exactly you want me to answer that.
Do people typically do it, or it's always applied to something else, or do people drink it, or is it like some really extreme people will like shoot it, like, is that, like
I would say that
chug.
some evos actually require regular applications of quick slime in order to keep them from devolving, and that's generally why there's a bar like this. It is, however, more like a mechanic's grease supply than it is yum oil.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, so this bartender / drug dealer or / mechanic, talking to Teku is like, all right, just hand it over here, and he starts to fill it in. It goes very slowly because quick slime, as much as it's quick and slime, it's actually quite viscous, and so it's just kind of like looping into the container. Gives you kind of an up and down look and says, "We don't see many turtles like you around here. You planning on doing a little with this?"
Oh, no plans yet. I'm not much of a plan guy, but I just like to have some on hands.
Have some on hand. Well, I'll definitely take your money and give you some if that's how you want to work it.
Sounds great.
You should know this stuff is extra fresh. It's been we get it from the underground vaults every short period of time. So assuming that you're not going to keep it at like room temperature or something crazy like that, then this should last you for quite a while. Yeah. So here you go, and you do your little economic transaction. And he kind of gives you a look as you're walking out the door, and he says, it's maybe I just been seeing things for a little while, but are you feeling all right? You look a little ill to me.
It's nothing unusual. I've just been at sea a little while. Doesn't agree with me.
You're a turtle who's been at sea, and it. You know what? That's on me. I had assumptions about you based off of your race that were completely unfounded. I'm sorry to hear that you've had a bit of the old land leg problem. Good luck to you, sir, and I hope you get many good upgrades with that stuff.
Thank you.
So, Jeremy, I just want to say, what I'm kind of picturing is like something between a cocktail lounge and like a what's, I don't know. I'm looking for like a little bit more of a horror film oriented like tattoo parlor. There's like a tattoo parlor element to it, but like a little more like twisted than that. Like if you're not just getting a design put on your arm, you're actually getting another arm put on your arm. It's like,
yes.
But there's definitely people going, because that hurts or whatever, But also with a bar, which I feel like tattoo parlors don't necessarily have. Not that I've really been to one, but that'd be a question for Greg Dyer.
Anyway. I know alcohol is often involved in getting tattoos, but I don't normally think of that as being this where you get the alcohol. So
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
You bring your own if you're going to do that. Anyway.
Cool.
But yeah, tattoo parlor was definitely an element I was picking up.
and grab my and just run back to the ship.
Awesome. Anything else you guys want to do during before your 2 a.m. meetup?
I'm just talking to Gloom and and like working on whatever we need to do to get stuff installed. Did you actually try to figure out how to get the biodock installed, or you just went to get yourself quick slime?
We can just say I took a look at it and was like, I don't know.
All right, so we should probably go look into finding. That's another thing we should try to find. Should I do another?
I can ask
Yeah.
everybody.
Does anybody have-
know how this thing?
Well, like maybe like a second investigation roll for that, since I did that for the cannon first, or is that an easier?
I mean, I was under the impression you were kind of just asking about both, like how to do installations
Okay,
and modifications.
sure. Yeah, as long as that's going to get handled. I don't want it to be like, oh, we've got one, but now we got to wait a whole other day to find somebody to do the other one. Yeah, okay.
So presumably, like, I went to sleep around 12, woke up around 8, and I have time until this late night sketchy meeting.
Yeah, actually, sure. So if you want to go ahead and we can move forward to that point, go ahead and take a long rest, and then you can hit that button on your character sheet, Zognor, and then we can now
Done.
officially say that it's evening, but still before the meetup.
Okay, so I find out what's going on. Gee, that sounds like kind of a sketchy plan to me, but I wasn't there. These folks presumably know what they're doing.
Well, it was what I found out.
I am not so suspicious that I'm going to try to talk anyone out of it, but I'm probably going to approach this meeting with some paranoia.
So definitely what'll happen when you're awake, Leaf will come over and like, how much do I want to lean into Cat? You're like close to being ready to wake up, and like then Leaf comes over and like pounces on you, and like you open your eyes and there's like the cat face right in front of you, like, can I ask you something?
Sure. What's up, Leaf?
So, I was talking to Miksha, who is so awesome. Oh, I have to tell you about it later because then they talked with Gloom and maybe whatever. Okay, but Miksha was like, I don't know whether to trust people. I don't think I said that to you before, but you seem to know, and I want to get these things ready so that we can put them on Gloom, right? The cannon and the biodock, and I want the cannon not to just be used for flinging you places. I would like it to fling things at more people other than hardtack, and so. But how do I want you to go with us and make sure that these people aren't going to hurt us.
And so presumably I have asked enough questions to be briefed on the plan at this point.
Yeah, I then probably would tell you what the hell I'm talking about.
So, yes, I would be happy to go with you. It sounds like having a few additional allies would be a good precaution. That's good thinking.
Okay. I'll not say anything. But I do know how to use Tinker's tools. So I can definitely watch what they're doing and make sure they're not doing anything bad. So I'll tell you if they're doing something bad, and then you make them stop. Or something. Should we have like a special like signal? I'm freestyling here.
I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
I think you can just say like, "Hey, I have some questions."
Okay. All right, I'm on it.
So now I understand the plan for the cannon, and what is the plan for the biodock?
I think the idea was it was the same place.
Yeah, they're
Was
just
that-
they'll install it for you.
Okay. So, presumably there are some empty crates on the ship, or if not, I can easily obtain one.
Sure.
Okay. Because Zognor has walked off with a sizable complement of gear.
Oh, yeah, right.
Not all of which was apparent as she was exiting the ivory hand.
You did some filching. Did you do us like a sleight of hand roll?
So, yeah, basically, I have just been looking through my inventory options and thinking, like, what could I find around the Ivory Hand that might conceivably be useful in an extended trip and could qualify as provisions, and loaded myself up with it. So,
Yeah, DM's discretion, exactly what all that is.
yeah, I mean, if I have something that Jeremy says, no, you don't have that, then I don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, you did talk about, like, after your meeting with Jalas, going and running around trying to figure out what was going on and then making a decision on what you're going to do next. So, I would suspect most of your gear is.
I mean, nothing magic.
Yeah, nothing magical, but just like reappropriated test equipment and stuff that you're like, sure, I could use a couple of beakers, and that could contain an acid if I needed to, or here's a little like a pad that when somebody steps on it, it gives them a little shock. Maybe that could be useful. It's not going to do damage, but it could be a deterrent or a reminder that this is where the thing is or whatever. So.
Okay, so I have a bunch of random items, and I have a crate to put them in so that I no longer have to be hiding them under my clothes and such. So, what else do I need to do? I mean, aside from getting updated on everything that I, as the player, have heard them discussing, but Zogdor has not heard.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's nothing there that's a secret. And again, I think what I'm leaning into is that if you're in Leaf's, like, okay list, then Leaf is just going to pull out a full Melissa enthusiasm, tell you everything. So you basically, I think it's reasonable to expect that there's very few things that Leaf will not tell, like, fellow party members. There are a few things, but like, almost everything that has, like, been discussed, I think you can, if there's the opportunity to tell you in confidence, right? Like, not when we think Jalas's people can listen, so that's certainly true. But like, if Leaf thinks it's, like, legit okay to tell you, like, you'll be able to tell, like, you. Okay. She's still not quite sure what to make of Teku, but I think is generally, like, trying to figure. But I think definitely trust these two and will say anything to either of them.
So yeah, I'm signed up for going on this sketchy late night mission, and
yeah, I know. I have a bad feeling about this, but it was my.
No, what could possibly go wrong?
It was
Our friends have looked into it.
It was a 5 investigation, so you know what? What are you gonna do?
Like I said, what could possibly go wrong? Our friends have looked into it.
That's not completely true. It was a 5 investigation, and then Teku also rolled and got a 4. So.
Oh, I did. You did it too. Okay, so it was both of us. Oh no. I didn't quite catch that.
And that's why Zogdor thinks, like, oh, this will be fine. Like, both of them looked into it. They've got good heads on their shoulders.
We do. We just rolled really shitty.
Here.
Unless you all want to make an attempt yourself to, like, see if you can come up with something better.
We should leave.
Kind of already gone past that. So.
Yep. Too late.
Too late. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess then night has fallen. The Lemonade and Cannonade is literally, like, on a peninsula that jets out into the water. It's right adjacent to the docks, and has a probably not real cannon, literally sitting in, like, the outside seating area of this tavern section. There are numerous fueling courtesans, just in all sorts of amusing outfits. Some that are, clearly designed to be alluring. Some that you're not sure what is going on with them, might be just a fueling thing. But they will kind of, like, try to catch your eye as you get close. And there is like some sort of like big spotlight that you actually realize is sourced not from, like, any kind of mechanical contraption, but it's literally a giant, like, lightning bug the size of a Rottweiler that's kind of just, like, lying on its belly and just being, like, turned around to sort of draw attention to this place. the general mood of the area is sort of somber. It's not a big night. It's just kind of like a Thursday night equivalent, where it's not the greatest amount of clientele, but you still have to like sell things and still try to make the motions, just in case a new ship comes in and suddenly there's an influx of sailors and whatnot, and work. But yeah, that's the setup. Go ahead and take it from there.
All right, so I've told Zognor like what the contact is and stuff, so I would sort of say like you should lead off. You know what we need to do? We need to get the cannon changed out and then installed, and we need to get the biodock installed.
Do we know who we're looking for, or have a description of someone to talk to?
I'll say that you got a name, and you're looking for someone named Dak Zestrom, who is a fueling.
Okay, so as we are like not quite there yet, and I can tell that this is not the high end part of town. I will suggest that somebody go ahead and have a look around, get the lay of the land, make sure like we know where the exits are. We know like if there are any obvious threats. We know like see if anything seems wrong, and maybe even like get into place to cover us when the rest of us go in.
That seems like a perception check.
It does seem like a perception check. Thank you.
So how do we
Who
want
should do that?
I have a +5 perception, so I'm a monk. So how do we want to flavor what I'm doing? Because I can do that task, but I also feel like I have the technical skills to watch what's going on in the actual negotiation and the actual implementation of anything on the ship. I think my interest would be to monitor the ship, but if you ask me to do like some reconnaissance, I think I'm suited to do that.
Can Gloom let us know if anything is... Oh, well...
Gloom is... Are we thinking we're going to like drive Gloom up there? Or how, I mean, it's on the water, but it's not like where you could bring a ship.
No, you would be
It's not
bringing
a-
people to Gloom. The mountain's not coming to Muhammad in this case.
Yeah, okay. Just because you said it was at the edge of the water, so I suddenly was like, oh, could we actually... No, it's like a little inlet or something.
Yeah, it's overlooking the coast. It's not like
Yeah,
its own dockyard.
yeah, gotcha. Makes sense. So yeah, no, we can't ask them to do that.
Okay, so we have brought the cannon with us on...
No, it's a big old thing. We are going to negotiate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then, if we're negotiating, then there's nothing for you to observe in, like, how it's installed, right? Not here.
Oh, true. That's true. Okay, yeah. But still, I could be listening to what they're saying. Do you want me in the shadows looking at, keeping an eye on things, or do you want me paying attention to the technical negotiations?
I'll bet keeping an eye on things from the shadows is probably...
Okay. So shall I do sort of an active perception roll to sort of scope it out, and then we'll just sort of have me on lookout?
Yeah, this will be you being a lookout. So go ahead and make a perception check right now, and that will
Not bad.
cover things for the
18 with my bonus.
18 total, right? Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Heading into this particular engagement, you do get a kind of a look around. I would say that from the outside, you notice a couple of important facts about the lemonade and cannonade, or the cannonade and lemonade. I can't remember which order it is now. Shit.
It's okay.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's
Probably not consistent.
Yeah,
aid
it's,
station.
it's actually like different in different places. Like you saw it on a flyer one way, and then on the door. it's
Nobody
like-
calls it the same thing. Everyone goes through this point in their life.
Yeah.
But so this is a 2-story establishment. The first story has a big opening that kind of leads into this outside area that I sort of described earlier. That's got like the cannon that's just kind of affixed to the ground there. The second story looks like where business of various types is done. So like the courtesans, for instance, will lead people inside and up to this second story. They're also just by the roll of your 18, you suspect there's probably some like private office type things in there, but it's not really it looks not the most high class. What's even less high class, though, is the back door behind the bar that leads out to the alley behind this tavern, where you are supposed to be meeting Dak. And this alley, it's high walled buildings surrounding it. It seems to have only, other than the side door that goes into the back of the tavern, really only one good entrance and exit, as it dead ends into a little cul-de-sac. It's the type of place where I don't know about Leaf per se, but anybody who's lived in a city for a substantial period of time would automatically walk faster when you were going through it.
Yeah. So now I'm getting kind of like a Wild West saloon, kind of like at least the interior, right? With like the upper story where the courtesans are hitting and random people are playing like private poker games and things like that. But in a city with a creepy alley in the back.
Should we go and ask?
Yeah, well. So I tell you everything I've observed. I tell everybody what I've observed. Are you with us too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a second.
Right, and bardic inspiration's obvious when you give it to someone, right? Like you play a song or something. We can't like do that.
To inspire them, the way that you inspire them is up to interpretation. If you've been inspired. I wouldn't necessarily assume that somebody would know the inspiration had occurred if you could think of some way that would not be obvious. But you'd have to sell that pretty hard.
I can imagine like Zognor, if Zognor wanted to like sort of stealthily do that, could like whisper some encouragement in one of our ears or something like that. That might be like a way to kind of, depending on what it was.
Sure,
Anyway.
I'm not really sure in what scenario he is stealthily giving someone inspiration, but like
going into one of because you can use it for ability checks, right? Not just for.
Yeah.
It lasts 10 minutes or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
kind of what I
lasts
was
a while, so it's not like you have to do it right then.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so you can like give us a pep talk before we go into the. I mean, I'm not going to do the negotiation, but my point is like something like that. Like you're going to do the negotiation, but I was just thinking about whether or not that's something that one could set up beforehand, or if one would like in a situation where suddenly somebody needs to do an important ability check. Like, is there a sneaky way for him to do that? Anyway, that sort of answers the question. That we can sort of see what happens.
I could also just pre-inspire everybody and before we go in.
Pre-inspiration.
That absolutely can happen. You'd have to obviously mark off all your inspirations.
Right. So
And that's you add a d6 to something?
one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Right. I was kind of thinking the investigation would have been a useful one, but that's okay. Before you went to sleep. Didn't think about that until just now.
I was all out of bardic inspiration
Oh,
when I
were
went
you?
to sleep.
Yeah.
I was also down to 9 hit points.
It was good that you did a long rest. Plus you had more feet, or the same feet. Some feet got feeted.
The feet woke up and went back to sleep several times.
Oh yeah, it's like white noses and bats,
Like,
right? Where they wake up all the time.
if you thought you had bad restless leg syndrome before,
Yeah. Now you have like, they're just like,
So,
yeah. Leaf does not sleep with you. And I mean, if Leaf was going to curl up next to a warm body, like now you're way too twitchy, so she would never do that. They would never do that. Besides, there's a boiler to sleep on.
I think, like, have you ever slept with a partner who just, like, keeps kicking you in their sleep?
Yeah, that.
Zognor is now doing that to herself.
Oh, yeah, I haven't actually either, but I know what you mean. Our friends who have kids seem to have had that experience.
Yeah, children move around a lot.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's what I've heard. I gathered.
So,
Was a child, can confirm.
True. Fair point. I don't remember whether I was like that or not, but
I remember waking up tangled in my bedding, so pretty sure I was flailing about.
that's fair.
okay. I think I am going to give a bardic inspiration point to our lookout and our negotiator. And which of the two of you would like one?
I can talk to them, but my plan was to go up and be like, "Hey, we're supposed to meet this guy in the back."
Okay, I think that if you were shared that plan, I would say let's have her do that. She knows how to be able to
Can you inspire yourself?
I think you can, yeah.
Okay.
You cannot.
No, you cannot.
Oh, so then all of us are inspired, and
All right.
you are
Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
uninspired.
Yeah.
I mean, you could like wait outside.
No, I can go with you and just be
no,
not
all right,
have a
'cause you
d6
have
to
high
add to my rolls.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
better
but
at it
not
than we are
proficient
even without the
persuasion.
d6. So
No, I think we should have our most proficient person do the thing. I'm
Yes.
just gonna grab our Amazon package from the front door.
Technically,
Already did. It's the cat food that's over there.
Oh, look at you. Oh, I see. John's already on
I've
it.
looked at John.
Actually, although now I'm gonna go back and
Okay.
yeah, if you have a better idea, I can go ahead and try something.
Well, wait a minute. You have good charisma too, don't you?
Yes, but I'm not proficient in persuasion.
I am half proficient in persuasion, which gives me a +4.
Half proficient?
I think
you're a
bards
bard.
are half
Yeah,
proficient in
bards
everything.
bards are weird. Okay.
We are delightfully weird, thank you.
I have to say,
Oh.
Zognor is like just numerically like the least persuasive bard I think I've ever seen. I don't know if I feel like every bard I've played with always gets proficiency and often expertise in persuasion. So it's interesting to see you going a completely different route with that.
I mean, I might have missed some background-based bonuses or something, but
No. It's just that you did not choose persuasion as a proficiency, which is
Yeah, you get some number of them as a bard. I don't know how many it is anymore.
wait a minute. Can I do performance instead of some checks, or is that a different edition?
well, I mean, performance is its own thing.
Right, but there was some. So I forget which edition it was where, like, you can roll your persuasion check, or you can roll your performance check in place of persuasion.
So it's
Because
definitely not
bard.
a general class feature in this. There might be some subclass that I don't know.
Okay, probably a different edition or something.
That's possible. Yeah, like a
That does sound like a third edition thing. If it was, third edition was all about weird skill mishmashing.
Right, which means actually I don't think you played a lot of third, but we played Pathfinder, and that was based on third, so it might have been
Or
Pathfinder.
third and a half.
Yeah, third and a half.
Third and 3/4. Okay, so let us go in with. So, is there somewhere where Leaf can sort of be our lookout, backup, sniper, like keeping an eye on things?
With my astral arm.
Yeah, I mean, the entrance to this alleyway seems
Yeah, I was
like
thinking
the best
Okay.
place to go.
Okay, so I'll just go, rather than going through the bar, I'll go around the outside and just sort of hang out back.
Can you climb on top of the building?
Oh, yeah. Can I? How tall is it? Good thinking.
I mean, it's 2 stories tall, so it's
Yeah.
like 35 feet or something.
You're a cat.
Yeah, I'm a cat. Yeah, let me find a good vantage point where I'm not like obviously at either entrance, but I'm like maybe I'm either like fire escapes or either like things like that.
Sure, go ahead and
know.
give me a stealth check.
Yeah, let's see how I do with that. Oh, that's +5. Let's. Okay. Well, it's a 10. What's with me rolling really low? That's a 10.
Okay, Okay, so yeah, you climb up to the top of this thing, think you're, decently out of sight, and but have a good line of sight to the alleyway down below you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how carefully we're setting this up. We're like, those were some bad rolls. This sounds really sketchy. Let's do a lot of elaborate setup.
Zognor was not at all suspicious until she saw the setup. Zognor had been thinking. Zognor had been thinking okay, other people looked into it while I was asleep. Like two of them were working together. That's probably okay. And now she's thinking like, okay, there was some key information that we weren't aware of. Looks kind of sketchy. I have seen sketchy situations before, and I know to go in cautiously. So, and this time I have friends, so someone can be a lookout, and so lookout approaches from the outside. The rest of us approach from the inside, go through the bar into the back alley, and. So we're looking for Dak. Is Dak in the alley?
Yeah, so you come out into this alleyway, and there is a group of 4 Fulings. Each of them is wearing a trilby on top of their green heads, with their little green ears sticking out sort of sideways, holding it up. And they have trench coats that are, they're just normal coats, but they've been they're on Fulings, and so they're just a little over large, and so they go down real low on them. And one of them, even though it's the middle of the night, is wearing big black goggles, and they're one of them's doing kind of a little bit of freestyle like dance, and the other ones are kind of snapping when you guys come outside. And as soon as the door opens and it makes a little they all just sort of stop in their tracks. The guy doing the freestyle dance pauses in mid motion, like he was about to do a breakdance move, and then stopped. And they all kind of look in your direction. One Fuling, the apparent leader, starts tapping his nails against his lapel, saying "Well, well, well, what do we got here?"
Are you
Go ahead.
Drax?
Dak.
Dak?
Maybe I am, maybe I ain't. Who wants to know?
I would like to know. We're looking for Dak to work on.
Zestrom. Dak
Zestrom?
Zestrom.
Dak
Yeah.
Zestrom is.
Sorry, is that your name?
It's both of them.
Oh.
First and last.
Yeah.
Dak Zestrom.
Oh, right.
Han
Sorry
S.
about that.
Han S. Yeah.
So yeah, we hear Dak can help us out with a little equipment issue that we have.
A little equipment issue. I think old Dacky can do that. What kind of equipment issue is this exactly? Do you need something modified? Maybe I'm good at modified. Dak's good at modifying. So I've heard. And the other Fuling's kind of yeah. Dak's good at modifying.
So yeah, we have this pea shooter, and we're looking for it to fire some different ammunition because you and I probably are not big supporters of what it's designed to fire.
And what exactly would that be?
Feelings.
Oh, how barbaric! I can't even imagine.
So we think that when we mount it on a ship, we might want it to fire some different ammunition. So if you know anybody who could help with something like that, we would be interested in negotiating a price.
Of course. Now, I just want to be clear, modifications of this type, not particularly cheap. We're talking 200 gold pieces. You got that kind of cash on you?
Do we?
I mean, sorry, DM economics. We have a bunch of random coal.
I think our goal is probably
Worth that much. I mean,
Yeah, what fraction of our reserves are we talking
And
about?
let me back up, because I think we did do enough blundering around some negotiation earlier that we did learn something about how much the coal was worth. I don't remember how much we learned about that, but like I mean, I can't remember what we were trying to buy, but there was some like awkward.
I would say that represents like 50% of what you have left. We'll say.
Ooh,
That's a lot.
great.
yeah.
So you can afford it.
That no.
So,
Oh, no?
well, so,
William not playing himself.
The way I see it is they want this, we want that. Why not? I mean, if you have reason to go against it, I guess I could start looking for somebody else.
Or we could try to do it ourselves.
I'm going to try to haggle.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, that is a mighty expensive modification. So we might not be able to do that. I mean, we could come up with
I
like
should have known. You look you guys don't look like the rich types, anyways. I'm sure you don't even have that kind of money.
well, we don't have that much. We could come up with 80.
All the fuelings kind of like start to chortle with themselves. In cold hard cash, you got 80 gold on you right now. We can absolutely make a deal.
We have we have it in coal, not in gold.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
collectively, I think
Yeah.
we each have
We
like
have some gold,
10.
right? And I have some gold.
Yeah, I have like 10. I think
some
it's
amount.
under
It's under
inventory.
Oh yeah, I gotta check mine.
Oh, you have 5. I think I have 10.
Yeah, I haven't had any time to
What
get
the-
gold back.
What
How much did you steal?
How much did you steal? Where did you get that?
Where did I get that?
Oh my god!
My inventory sheet says I have 130.
That's more.
Well,
Just
you
pay
might
then.
have, it might have July given you cash to do stuff. I don't know. I mean, that seems
I
like a
don't think
lot.
Jalas gave me cash, did she?
I did not give you money.
Yeah, no. So I don't know what.
Because you put it there.
Yeah, I don't know how that seems a lot.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is at some point we
Oh.
converted a bunch of the coal to
Maybe
gold.
that's what he did. Yeah, I bet that's what we did. In which case, we should make sure that we're keeping track of how much coal we've got.
Well, I mean, we're trusting the DM on this.
Yeah, up to you how you want to
so,
handle that.
yeah,
But that wouldn't make sense.
DM judgment call. Do I have this or not?
And if so, then we don't.
I'm going to let you have it. It's quite
'Cause
possible
I think
you
we
guys
probably
sold
did.
something I don't remember.
The only thing we sold was coal. But yeah, I mean, we did sell some of the expensive coal at some point. So I guess. Yeah. All right. So.
Yeah, so I have things like a handful of aqua coal gets us 2 months of food. But I'm trying to see if there's a place where we. Yeah.
Well, for
So-
purposes of moving this. For purposes of moving this along, so what they said if we had how much in cold hard cash that we had a deal?
They were looking,
80.
They were looking for. You said 80, and they're like, yeah, we can do 80.
Okay, so I start making a show of like searching through my pockets and coming up with 5 gold here and 5 gold there, and so I'm asking like my friends, like anyone else, like do you have anything to contribute? As opposed to like, yeah, here's my big fat purse filled with
right.
gold.
I have 14.
Yeah, so it makes sense if you like pitch in some more.
Yeah.
Okay, so between the lot of us, we eventually come up with 80, and I'm taking notes to pay back my friends later, because apparently I have been the money holder from this sale of coal earlier.
Apparently, I mean, yeah, the banker.
But making it look like we're not loaded, we're just like between the lot of us, we can come up with it.
Great. So they say, all right, fantastic. Just go ahead and give me that there, and then why don't you just tell me where your vessel is at port, and in the morning we'll come over and we'll do whatever repairs, modifications, that is, whatever you need.
Well, I think cash after the modification sounds like a better deal to me, because otherwise, something might happen to you between now and then. So,
I'm sorry, I just have to say, you're doing kind of like a vaguely Jersey-esque accent, and I'm hearing John just creeping slightly into that accent, which is just funny because he's from Jersey. That's what people just talk about that. No, that was a really, I mean, it's just a very, he's just,
just a little bit.
I'm a guy, I'm just like hearing it at the very edge of it, so I just have to say something. Carry on, as you were. I'm also not miles away, but I'm definitely not in a position to actually say anything, and also my character shouldn't say anything. That's why you're doing this. So I'm still just, am I seeing anything sketchy from where I am? Like, is there anybody else, creeping
not
in?
At the moment, no.
Okay, all right, carry on, right. As you
Later.
were. Yeah, right,
So-
right, probably.
So I say, whenever you're ready to do the work, we've got the cash for you. Tomorrow morning's good for you. Tomorrow morning's good for us. Here's where we're docked. We'll see you then.
Maybe we got off on the wrong foot here, but I don't really feel comfortable without some transaction before this night's over. Why don't you just go ahead and give us the money, and then we'll see you at the dock in the morning.
For half later, and I don't know.
Well, I can understand that you want to show good faith, so we can give you 10% in advance and the other 90 on completion.
I see you're. You know what? I understand. You're a deal maker. That makes sense. I'm not a deal maker. You should talk to my deal maker. And at this moment, I would like everyone to roll perception.
Okay.
And then if you roll perception, you get to roll initiative. No,
Yeah.
That's...
Oh, nice. 24.
I got 12.
I finally rolled high on a probably a good.
I'm still oblivious.
21!
Nice.
All right. So, I see a 12 for Zognor, a 24 for Leaf, a 21 for Miksha, and then I don't see anything for Teku.
No, I'm not seeing anybody else's either. I rolled an 8 though.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll reload and see if
It shows up. Yeah.
I will trust your 8. Miksha and Leaf.
They can roll it again.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you want. No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Miksha and Leaf, you're both kind of listening in on this thing, or Leaf less so. You're watching from your vantage point when you just roll a d4. When
Success then with acting.
Yeah.
okay, like no wonder your rolls are so bad. When you see the fueling is reaching for something under his trench coat, and he pulls out a hand crossbow that is already loaded and ready to fire. And with that,
I just said it.
What was that?
we're going to do. I think what we'll probably do is we're probably going to stop for tonight.
Yeah, 8:30. Yeah.
Just because it's very late and this is not going to be like a quick thing. Let's do our little bit of planning for our next session. And then when we start the next session, we will have people roll for initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me put notes into the chat.
The thing that sucks about this is we need him to do the work, right? So it's not like
we need someone to do the work.
Right.
He does not have to be here.
we need someone. Good point. We could stay in town longer and try to. Maybe someone else can try an investigation roll and not roll a 5.
I mean, I'm capable of doing that.
I think that
That's pretty good.
on another
That would
day.
be great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right. Why did you just use up a good roll?
I wasn't part of your crew yet.